What's up, travellers? Welcome back to the channel. SJ Aviation HQ here, bringing you another video for you guys today. This is the model review of the Air Japan Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner released by JC Wings. But of course, before we go any further into today's video, go ahead and drop a thumbs up below. A great indication of how much you enjoy today's content and of course the movement here on the channel. If you would like to come along to more content like this, including more model reviews that I have coming out very soon, and of course the unboxings, live streams of setting up my airport update, and of course the updates themselves, go ahead and consider subscribing below. And while you're there, ding the bell icon to receive the notifications as soon as they go live onto the channel. As mentioned, the model review of the Air Japan 787-8 Dreamliner released by JC Wings. This is a very recent acquisition here in my collection. Actually received this a few days ago now, as of the date of recording. So before we go ahead and showcase the box, you can see in front of you guys, I'm going to read out some information about Air Japan as an airline, and then some information about the particular aircraft, the airframe itself. So, founded on March the 8th, 2022, Air Japan is a Japanese low-cost airline, headquartered on the grounds of Tokyo Narita International Airport, and is a subsidiary airline of All Nippon Airways. Initially founded as a charter airline in 1990, Air Japan was relaunched in 2022 as a low-cost long-haul arm of the ANA Group, which of course is owned by the parent company All Nippon Airways. According to planespotters.net, Air Japan operates a fleet of 2 Boeing 787-8 Dreamliners, with an additional 4 787-8 Dreamliners soon to join the fleet, taking the fleet up to 6 leased Boeing 787-8s. Air Japan operates their Boeing 787 fleet to the likes of Singapore Changi, Seoul Incheon International Airport, and Bangkok Suvarnabhumi International Airport from its base in Tokyo Narita International Airport. Going into some information about this particular airframe now. The MSN number of this aircraft is 34485. This aircraft was the 7th 787 to roll out for Boeing, the 7th ever 787 to roll out for Boeing in general. This is a 12-year-old Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner, which of course performed its first flight on July the 27th of 2012. It was built and produced in Everett, Plainfield, just north of Seattle in Washington, USA, and is currently active on the network for Air Japan. Currently registered as Juliet Alpha 803 Alpha, this aircraft was delivered to Air Japan on February the 9th of 2024, and is equipped with 2 Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 engines. And this aircraft was initially delivered, ferried between Plainfield just north of Seattle, to Tokyo Haneda International Airport in Japan on August the 23rd and 24th of 2012 on its delivery flight. Of course, that being delivered to All Nippon Airways initially. And this aircraft was painted into the special 787 special livery. Basically, Air Japan is the direct competitor to the low-cost arm of Japan Airlines, which of course is known as Zip Air Tokyo. So let's go ahead and check out this box art. As you can see, it is very simplistic. This is not what we usually see on a JC Wings box. But anyway, here we have in the center, we have the Boeing 787 text here, and of course right next to that is the Boeing 787 typeface in the Boeing font. Here we have the Air Japan 787-8, the 2D rendering of the aircraft, looking very nice indeed. Here we have the panel where it has the Japan Airlines, Air Japan typeface here, or logo, very cool, or emblem. And on the bottom right of the box, we can see this is a die-cast aircraft model in 1:1 scale. On the bottom panel, we have the Boeing 787-8 text here, the 2D rendering of the aircraft itself, and then we have the barcode and the information where it says it's a die-cast model in 1:1 scale. Of course, this is the flaps up configured version of the aircraft. Here we have where it says that this is a Boeing 787-8. On the top panel is the identical information what we saw on the opposite side, but this side has a grey background. And this is the identical to what we just saw. Very cool. On the back panel, we have the Boeing 787-8 text again. Some diagrams of the aircraft on the side view, the top view, and then we have the general specifications of the 787-8. Very nice indeed. This, of course, is in the metric measurement. Here we have the warning information. Sorry, not the warning information on this side, but this is yeah, it is the warning information, just there in English. And then we have where it has the licensing for Boeing and the 787 made in China. And then we have here the die-cast model aircraft and 1:1 scale again. Very, very cool. A very simplistic JC Wings box in this case. But do stay tuned for the model review of the Qatar Airways Airbus A380, which has the usual or the new current JC Wings box art. But that will do it for this portion of the video, the reading out of the airline information and the aircraft information and the showcasing of the box. So let's go ahead and check out the model. And here is the absolutely stunning Air Japan Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner made by JC Wings, of course in 1:1 scale. Now, in this portion of the video, I'm going to showcase the model up close to the camera for you guys, giving you an up close view of all of the details you can see on this aircraft. So let's go ahead and dive in straight into the review of the model. First and foremost, zooming into the model for you guys and getting it up close for you guys. Now here you can see all of the details that are on this aircraft. Before I go into detail about all of them for you guys, as you can see, that is the same mold as what you get from Gemini jets. In my opinion, the mold's not too bad compared to other molds out there. But I do have quite an array of 787s now. I think Air Japan comes in, I think it's the 44th airline in terms of the 787 carriers. But I might be wrong, so I'll put the details in the bottom of the screen for you guys. But anyway, here in the middle of the shot is the front portion of the aircraft, the pointy end, as some would say. This is the cockpit end of the aircraft. In the middle of the shot, you can see the nose cone there. Now underneath that is a component called the weather radar. Now the weather radar has the purpose to detect storms along the flight path of a flight, to give the pilots a visual indication of any rainfall ahead of them, including the intensity of the rainfall as well, and the possibility of turbulence as well. This enables the crew to navigate around any potential hazardous areas along the flight plan that they've assigned for their flight. So very cool. Here is the cockpit windows of the JC Wings mold. JC/Gemini jets. As you can see, they do look rather nice indeed. I do like when when the light hits them, they kind of tinge a little bit, depending on the light that you see them in. I do quite like the cockpit windows that the likes of NG models put on their 787s. I will be doing a model review very shortly of an NG model 787, so you stick around for that if you want the comparison for it. As you can see, there is the window wipers there for the cockpit as well, looking rather nice indeed. Now down here on the side of the aircraft, you can see the AOA sensor on the top there, and the pitot tubes to the bottom. Now the AOA sensor has the purpose to offer a visual indication of the amount of lift the wings are generating at a given airspeed or angle of bank, and the pitot tubes have the purpose to measure fluid flow velocity during a flight. Very cool indeed. As you can see At the bottom here we have the nose gear. As you can see, it does roll quite freely on the axis there. And there we have 803, the numbers that are in the registration of this aircraft, which of course is Juliet Alpha 803 Alpha, looking fantastic indeed. Of course, Air Japan is a subsidiary airline of All Nippon Airways. This aircraft used to be operated by All Nippon Airways. Of course, I did mention that earlier on in the video. If not, I just mentioned it now for you guys. Here we have the Lima 1 boarding door, or the L1 boarding door. This is one of the two main boarding doors on this aircraft. Other one is right here. This is the Lima 2 door, or the L2 boarding door. Very cool. Here we have the cabin windows here spanning across the aircraft. Here is the easy way to, apart from the length of the aircraft, to decipher whether this aircraft is a Dash 8. In terms of the 787 family, there are, I think here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 windows here. If this was a Dash 9, there would be 14 windows. And I believe that if it was a Dash 10, I believe it's like 18 or 19 windows. And of course, the sheer size of the stubbiness of the Dash 8, it kind of gives it away that it is a Dash 8. In my opinion, the Dash 9 is the most proportionate of the variants. It is my favourite aircraft type in general in terms of the world aircraft, as of course Air New Zealand, my national carrier, was the launch customer of the Dash 9 Dreamliner. If you haven't checked out my model review of the black and white livery of the Air New Zealand NG models model, go ahead and check it out. Top right corner right about now. Very cool. And here we have the typeface or logo type of Air Japan, looking rather nice indeed. Here on the top of the model we have three main things here. Just here at the end of my finger there we have the beacon light, not popping out of the aircraft like we had on the Air Senegal A330 Neo, which was my most recent model review on this channel. But it does the job there. This is basically what what I mentioned in that video. Apart from Aviation 500, everyone else has this sort of detail in terms of the beacon light. Quite a shame, but that's what you get. Here is the first antenna on top of the fuselage here, and right behind that we can see the SATCOM on this aircraft. This is the Wi-Fi dome, or what provides the IFE on this aircraft. Of course, that is provided into the TVs behind each of the seats. Here on the bottom of the aircraft we can see the pedostatic system. Just here, I'm rubbing my thumb right across it there. Now that has the use to determine an aircraft's airspeed, Mach number, altitude and altitude trend during a flight, so very cool indeed. Just in the middle of the shot just there, you can just make it out ever so slightly. It's just here, if I can get my finger to it, just here. That is the wing light that is used to illuminate light onto the leading edge of the wing here, and of course, into or onto the engine. So very cool indeed. Right here, if I can focus on it for you guys, in the middle of the shot, we can make out the wing light there, or the landing light that is on the wing. That is used during operations when the aircraft is on or landing into an airfield or departing an airfield between the measurements of or heights of 0 to 10,000 feet. Above 10,000 feet, to the discretion of the pilots, they can turn it off if they wish to. Now here is the number one engine on this aircraft, of course, the Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 for the Dreamliner. Very nice indeed. Not my favourite engine in terms of the 787's capabilities or equipment on the aircraft. My favourite engine type is the GE, the Gen X1 Bravo engine, and of course it is a GE engine. Looking fabulous indeed. You can see straight through the engine there. The fan blades looking quite outstanding there. And of course, here is the vortex generator used to deviate any airflow in straight into what's this the leading edge of the wing. Of course, that's what you see, those little those the vortex things that go over the wing during when the aircraft is departing an airfield. Here we have the side of the nacelle here with the clamshell type chevrons here at the rear of the engine there. Of course, quite famously done on the Dreamliner's engines, also seen on the 737 MAX aircraft, and of course the 747-8 as well. So very cool indeed. Moving down the aircraft, I can see the landing here. The landing gear here. Bit of a tongue twister there, but here we have the aircraft's landing gear. They do not tilt on the axis there, but they do roll. But the rear ones do anyway. The front ones are pretty stuck there, but on the other side, let's have a wee look. Here, quite up close view. Both of them do roll, so that's quite nice. Here we have the Lima 3-door on this aircraft here, the 787 Dreamliner. This is or the Dash 8 Dreamliner that is. Here we have that this is basically an emergency exit door via the apron of an airfield. Of course, the emergency exit slides would fold out, and of course they would also do that on water as well. The slides would then turn into a makeshift raft if it was on water, which is quite interesting to know. Here we continuing down the aircraft. Here we have the bottom antenna here. There should have been one at the front of the aircraft, but of course this is a Dash 8, not a Dash 9. Here we have the registration of this aircraft, Juliet Alpha Juliet Alpha 803 Alpha there. And here we have some more antennas on top of the fuselage. Just here is one of the only cargo compartment you can see on this side of the aircraft. The other main cargo holes are on the other side. And here we have the Lima 4 door. This is another one of those boarding doors used when the aircraft is boarding via the apron. Of course, when you board the aircraft via the buses. Very cool. And here we have the tail fin of this aircraft, looking quite nice indeed. Let me just back up a little bit and then focus on it. Very cool indeed. I do like the colours you can see on the empennage or the rear fuselage of the aircraft, looking quite nice indeed. Comparing this to Zip Air Tokyo, the Japanese subsidiary of Japan Airlines, I quite like this livery more, but I feel like I should do a model review of the Zip Air if I haven't done one already. I should have got that model out before I did this model review, so I could put them both into the shot. But I do quite like Zip Air's livery as well, but I do quite like the simplistic look of this livery as well. Looking quite nice. So let's zoom back up again and continue with the review. Here we have the elevators of the 787-8. As you can see, on either of them you can make out that small grey dot here, just there, and there's another one in the middle of the shot there. They are logo lights. They are used to illuminate light onto the tail fin when the aircraft is operating during night operations. Very cool that they are used to provide a visual indication to anyone who is in the control tower to know who the airline is, and of course it could be used as a marketing tool to anyone within or around an airfield. Just to give them the sense of wanting to fly the aircraft. Now, one thing that I did not showcase is the wing here. The one thing I don't really recognize is this little yellow box here. I don't know what this is used for, so if anyone could let me know in the comment section what this is used for, that will be fantastic. Otherwise, I will put some information at the bottom of the screen if I can find any. Very cool. But here is the wing of the 787-8, the same length as you can see on the Dash 9 and 10. So the only thing that's different about the three variants is the length of the fuselage and the amount of windows that are in between the Lemma 1 and 2 doors, and same as the other side. But here we have the red navigation light, if I can get the focus on it. There we go. Very nice indeed. On the opposite side it will be green, as you'll see in a moment. And here is the famous red dot, or sphere that you can see on the Japanese flag, which I'm surprised there is no Japanese flag on this aircraft. I suppose because it's not a flag carrier, perhaps. And here is the one of my favourite parts of the 787. That of course is the raked wingtip. The amount of flex that this wing can get when the aircraft is rocketing out of an airfield and rotating off the runway, I find that quite fascinating to watch. One of the main things that got me into the 787, to be honest, the wing flex. Very nice indeed. I cannot wait for the day that I manage to fly on board one. I might do a flight review, I don't know. But here we have on the other side of the aircraft the registration on top of the wing, Juliet Alpha 803 Alpha. Now back to the backward part of the aircraft, just here we can see the APU exhaust, that of course abbreviated to the auxiliary power unit, additional engine on board the aircraft. And you can see those small little divots there, just there, and there's another one on the other side. I guess they are used to represent the strobe lights at the rear of the aircraft, because there are no strobe lights on the wing that I managed to pick up on. No, there isn't. Okay, let's have a look at the opposite side of the aircraft before we go ahead and look at the belly of the aircraft. The only main difference is that here on the cockpit, on the top of the cockpit here, we can see the emergency escape hatch for the pilots. On the front portion of the aircraft, we can see the forward baggage compartment just here, looking quite nice. At the rear, we can see the rear baggage compartment just here. Right here is the ram air turbine, or the RAT. That small propeller-like device that comes down from the fuselage when the aircraft is in testing, particularly the engines, to provide a bit more power to them. And yeah, the only other main difference is that here on this wing, we can make out a green navigation light. Pretty dandy indeed. Now on the bottom of the aircraft, we have some nice details here as well. Very, very nice looking nose gear doors just there. The beacon light just here. There's some air vents as well. Very nice. The landing gear doors and the stand hole, where you would put the stand for anyone who is putting a stand on a 400 scaled aircraft. Here is the underside of the wing, looking very nice indeed, with that Japanese sphere there. I'm not too sure what that small red dot is used for. Is that perhaps where the fuel tanks are, or where the fuel gets located? I'm not too sure, but let me know. And then on the other side of the engines here, looking fabulous. The Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 engines, registration of the aircraft, and again that small red dot. I'm not too sure what that's used for. Very nice indeed. Another dot here, a yellow one. Not too sure what that's used for as well. And here is the entryway to the 8PU, the auxiliary power unit. One thing that I did see before, or it might be on this side of the aircraft, it is on this side of the aircraft. Just here, if I can focus on it, is the word ETOPS. Very nice indeed. If you don't know what that is used for, the description of it is in the bottom of the screen right about now for you guys. Otherwise, this is a very, very nice model. Nice to have a new carrier into my collection in terms of the 787s. Of course, as everyone knows by now, the 787 is my favourite carrier, or not the carrier, aircraft in general. The family of the aircraft in general, of course. I did recently purchase the Air Tanzania and the Austrian Airlines, Air Tanzania 787-8 and the Austrian Airlines 787-9, both of them being by Aviation 400. So it'll be great to have a new mould in terms of the 787. Cannot wait to unbox that on the channel as well, and of course do model reviews of either of them, as of course they are brand new airlines into my collection. Cannot wait to see what the Austrian 787 looks like, as of course red is my favourite colour. All of my branding on my social media is red, so I mean, I hope that makes sense for you guys. But yeah, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, go ahead and drop a thumbs up below. Great indication of how much you enjoyed today's video, and of course the content here on the channel. Come along and view more content like this by subscribing to the channel below, and next to that you'll see the notification bell. To click that to get the notifications as soon as the videos go live on this channel. Great to see your support on the next one. The next model review should be the Qatar Airways Airbus A380 by JC Wings. Another JC Wings mold for my collection. But yeah, if you'd like to come along and view more content in terms of my social media whereabouts, go ahead and scan the QR code you can see on the screen now. That will lead you straight to my Astra International Airport's Instagram page. The one main place to check out all of the information about my whereabouts in terms of the model collecting scene. And of course the updates of my other things that I do in terms of my website, or updates about this YouTube channel as well. Go ahead and check out my community tab here on YouTube as well. So my channel part, you can see the word community. Tap that and you'll get some information as well in terms of my whereabouts. Go ahead and scan the QR code you can see on the screen now. That will lead you straight to my Linktree page. That has all of my other social media links in one full place, including the likes of my airport's website. If you'd like to go ahead and check out the website, check it out via a PC, a laptop, or an iPad device, whether it is like a Samsung tablet or an Apple iPad. What I like to say is the bigger the screen, the better. I do highly recommend not checking it out via a mobile device, you know, like a iPhone or a Samsung Galaxy or something like that. The resolution of the screen does not make the website look any good. So check it out via a computer or an iPad, like I said. So go ahead and check it out. And of course, in that Linktree list as well is my Infinite Flight Instagram page, or you can scan the QR code you can see on the screen now. But of course, if you don't have the means to scan any QR codes, there are additional links in the description below to lead you to where you need to go. So yeah, that will do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the model review of the Air Japan Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner made by JC Wings. As of course, if you'd like to support the channel even further, leave a thumbs up below, subscribe, and of course ding the bell icon, and of course share this video to your friends or anyone who may benefit from this video. Now on the end screen soon enough will be some options for you guys to lead you to other content on this channel. On the left hand side will be my most recent video. On the right hand side will be the full playlist of model reviews I've done so far here on the channel. In the middle will be where you can subscribe. But until next time, guys, fly safe, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.